summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and then we strolled that golden sand. Oh yeah. Ah, two sweethearts and that summer wind, like painted kites, those days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky. Then softer than a piper man, one day it called to you. On I lost you to that summer wind. The autumn wind and the winter wind, now they've come and gone. And still the days, those lonely days, they go on and on. Guess who sighs his lullabies through nights they'll never end? My fickle friend, the summer wind, the summer wind, warm summer wind. Thank you.
Welcome to the Meta Lifestyle Magazine Show. I'm your host, Karina Felix. Join me each week on this exciting new magazine TV platform as I bring in guests that will discuss everything from spiritual growth, personal awareness, and business success. Join us as we share our journeys and inspire you to live a meaningful life, serve a higher purpose, and make a global impact. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Meta Lifestyle Magazine, the source for enhancing, impacting, and transforming lifestyles. I'm your host, Karina Felix, and I am so delighted to have you here with us today. And, of course, I have with me my trusted psychic, Nandini.
Hello everyone, welcome again to the Metaphysical Magazine TV show. We have a wonderful show planned for you today.
So Nandini and I have an interesting story because I live in West Palm Beach. She lives up in Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens. And we were both part of the same organization, which was the Holistic Health Connection up in Jupiter. And we will meet once a month for meetings. And it was a big group and there was a lot of people. So, you meet people, you don't meet people. And in 2019, right, if I'm correct, I went to Sedona, Arizona for my graduation. I was getting my bachelor's degree in metaphysical science. And while there, this lady walked up to me and says, "Hey, aren't you from Florida?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "We're from the same group." And then I looked at her, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I do recognize your face." And we, we kind of hung out together. I don't even know if you guys do we have the picture ready to go? I gave them a picture, but maybe we'll see. So anyway, so we have had this trajectory and our friendship blossoms from there. And she has this amazing, the plan. She has this, I went to her home one day and she kept talking about this device that would allow live plants to sing. And I thought, well, that's amazing. I would love to see that for myself. but I had gone for a different reason. I think it was something with my nonprofit, of course. Everything's gay. So go ahead, pull it up. There we are, graduating.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
it's so amazing, isn't it? That we didn't even know, because this was an online course that we did, and I knew Karina, and it was such a surprise to see her as I was waiting to have my formal photograph taken, and there she is, and having her photograph taken, and I'm thinking, I know that face, and life is so strange and so very interesting, that here we are, hosting this wonderful show for you. It's such a privilege, a real privilege.
So, and because we have this same thoughts, this same philosophy of life, this metaphysical, we understand our soul's mission, higher vibration, understanding the universal laws, how to use it to our advantage, which is the most important thing that I wish people will understand, that they do work. Words are like, I call them magic. What you say, you can actually make it happen,
You
right?
manifest, absolutely. Did we make it clear that it was the University of Sedona that we did?
I'm sorry, I should say that. It's the University of Sedona and also the University of Metaphysics.
And it was a degree in metaphysics that we were both pursuing at the same time.
The interesting thing about a degree is not only do you get your bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree, you also become a minister. You become a metaphysical minister, and we are ordained ministers as well. So we kind of speak the same language. So it's always
Absolutely.
interesting when other people in that field, when we get together, we don't have to explain ourselves. We can talk freely, right? So for that reason, I thought it would be interesting to do a little bit more of a deep dive, because I think people think metaphysics is a religion, and it's not religion. It's not really spirituality, because what we learn is that metaphysics encompasses a lot of stuff. It brings in philosophy. It brings in psychology. It even brings in quantum physics, understanding how energy moves, because we know energy, you can't destroy it. You can only transmute it and change it. You can, shape, like they say, but you can't destroy energy. And we could use that energy to benefit our well-being every day. And then it also encompasses the religions of the world, whether it's Buddhism or Confucius, or whatever the religions are. The root of all religion is still that whole happiness, bliss, elevating our vibration, really getting to the next level. And
Well, it's interesting that you use the term quantum physics, and what I find fascinating is that quantum physics is discovering now everything that metaphysics has told us
correct.
for millennia.
Correct. So, metaphysics actually is the root of all physics, all science, because the whole point is we ask why. Why does this work this way? Why? And that question why is what get people to go into that next level. Well, why does the universe work the way it is? Why does a plant grow? Why does the biology of a human work? It's all the sciences come together under one umbrella.
Yeah, and I think it might be helpful to just explore for a couple of minutes the word itself, metaphysics. What does that mean? If we think of physics as the exploration of what is in the physical world, what is real, what is reality, what you can study and dissect with logic. And the word meta actually means above that. So you are going above and beyond the physical aspect of the world, of the universe, of what we can see with our eyes. So when somebody says that they've had a mystical experience, it's not something that can be described with logic.
Right.
That is a metaphysical part of our human experience that logic finds very difficult to define, to explain. And I have a story actually about a client of mine, and it gives a really good example of somebody moving from physics to metaphysics. This guy, he is a scientist. He has a few degrees in physics. And as a scientist, when he was studying in Canada, in his university environment, he was just immersed in this very atheist belief because, you know, as a scientist, many of them do not believe that there is anything beyond what they can see and touch and prove. And having grown up in a Catholic family, he found himself very, very conflicted. And he became an atheist for quite some time, but that conflict remained within him. And he became so troubled with this, he was not sleeping. And he reached out to what he called God and what others might call universal consciousness or source. And he said, God, show me a sign. If you really exist, show me a sign. And he opened up his Bible, and the verse that it fell on, that the pages where it opened, was so powerful for him. It was like the verse was saying to him, I exist. I do exist. So he literally went from physics to metaphysics. And now it's his life mission to share his own personal journey with atheists in the world because he experienced that. And now he's had this experience that science cannot explain. So I think that's really a beautiful story that helps us to understand what metaphysics is.
Well, like I said, from my research, I realized that the original word for meta was going beyond, and beyond means beyond what we see, hear, touch, feel, taste, smell. Like we're still stuck in that, the five senses, but we have to step out of that into whatever the sixth sense or the fifth dimension, where we're moving into right now, and that's just faith. And the word faith has been around for so long, but we don't really know how to use faith. We don't know how to really, really believe. You know, we say we believe, but then there's still little doubt go like, but what if it doesn't work? And what if, and in metaphysics, our prayer is not just what I call supplication. I mean, I come from a couple of background languages. Supplica, we use, meaning to beg and ask. But in metaphysics, you have to affirm that you already have what it is that you want. And by affirming, being positive of what you want and going after what you want, the universe will come together and bring whatever it is that you need into your life, the right person, the right circumstance, the right, whatever it is that you need. But you have to, through faith, through belief. And, my story goes way, way back. And, I keep getting asked, like, when did you have that aha moment? I never had an aha moment. I totally believe I'm an old soul. And my soul came in with the mission to not allow me to forget too much. And so I've been connected to my guardian angels since I was in my crib, for as long as I can remember. And I learned really early on to have faith and follow what we call now intuition, what we call gut feeling. To me, it was just my guardian angel telling me, yo, you can do this, you can't do that. You do this, all is well. You don't do it, things are not going to work out for you. So I kind of learned to live in an ongoing faith space. So that's kind of my journey. So for that reason, I chose to invite two of our alumni of the University of Metaphysics and the University of Sedona. And we are going to bring in first Miss, are we ready? Miss Reverend Reg Tan. Are you there? Are you ready to come on and join us on this conversation? And here's the fun part. She's streaming in from the Philippines.
So it's very early in the morning for
I think
her.
it's 3 a.m. in the morning
Yes.
for her. Is it 3 a.m. for you? Hi, Reg.
Hi, it's actually right now, 4:24 a.m.
4:24 a.m. Oh my goodness. We're so appreciated that you're awake at this hour of the morning, and so grateful that you're here with us. And you and I kind of go back a while too, because we've been communicating mostly through Facebook. And you have your show, and you actually had me on your show at one point. I think that might
Yeah.
be quite a bit back. So tell me a little bit about your show. First, introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and then we'll go into that.
Yes. Everyone, and I just want to greet everyone. Hi, it's a Filipino word. It literally means live, and I want to add live on existing because Karina was talking about meta going
We're having bad
and
connection.
metaphysically practical
Is there anything we can do about that? No?
value in it.
Reverend Reg, can you hold one moment because we're having some difficulty with the streaming?
Okay.
Give us just 1 second. Let's see if we can, if this is, I don't know if it's our, all right, let's try this one more time. Go ahead.
Mabuhay everyone, live and go beyond existing. It's a phrase that I remind everyone because my attraction for metaphysics is the use of our old traditions and mysticism and how practical it is to be utilized in our day-to-day lives. So I'm a passionate researcher even before metaphysics. I've done a lot of research first and foremost for personal growth topics, and also I feel that I've immersed myself a lot with success seminars. Although I wasn't as successful as I wanted to be, decided to study more, and that's how I'm studying for my bachelor's degree in University of Metaphysics, and then I got my certification as a life coach, and I've been doing energy healing for a couple of years already. And I got into meditation, and it really helped me elevate my awareness, and it helped me in my decision making process, which I really believe is a very important thing that we have to cultivate, especially if you're doing business or you're professionally representing yourself and you have to make decisions. It's very useful. So I also started a small business. It's related to metaphysics and marketing because I am just as passionate as my metaphysical colleagues about promoting what metaphysics is and the good it can do for our personal and professional lives. So that's all for me.
So what I liked about you, and it was, like I said, I've been following you for a while, and you have a book, and you came out with it with an ebook, and you were discussing the price of your book, and I love that you said, "I know my worth." And this is what I've put the time, the effort, my studies, the research to create this book so I could help other people get to the point that they have to go to. So I know my value, and this is the price I'm putting, and I'm not going to give no one a discount. And it's not a discount, it's because you realize that if you don't give yourself worth, who's going to give you worth? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for affirming it and validating it because one of the things that I want to share with everyone, first, I really immerse myself into doing the research on myself first, if it's really working on me. So, for instance, when I took my bachelor's degree, I know that I can finish it easily in less than 6 months, as they suggested. But it took me to finish it because I wanted to go beyond knowing metaphysics into embodying what you about in the bachelor's degree. And I think it's so important for anyone who devotes themselves into a particular industry to have a mindset of going beyond being able to narrate what your industry is, but actually embodying the very essence of what your profession is. So that's why I took the time to really evaluate myself. where is it that I know this in principle and where am I really embodying the philosophy? Because it's a 48 module course, and all of us will have that awareness where does it come to you easily and effortlessly? Or is this an area, is this a belief that's difficult for you to demonstrate in your life? And I've gone through my highs and lows in that self-discovery process even after graduation. So it's a very good thing to keep an open mind and to constantly self-evaluate and decide to elevate yourself no matter what's happening around you and what's happening in your own life too.
You used a very key word, and that was demonstrate. And one of the quotes that I've been using ever since from Dr. Masters was that you have to demonstrate, right? He always says, demonstrate a prosperous, abundant life. So, and this goes back to all the old teachings. We're talking Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill and the Science of Getting Rich. And they all say, don't just give, charity, whatever. You first elevate yourself. You make the money, you do all that work, and then you give the next person a hand and pull them up with you. And then then we have two people getting four and four, and that's how we multiply prosperity and abundance by first becoming and then helping the next one to come to that level. Do you agree?
For me, I realize that we are prosperous in different areas in our lives. For example, in my studies with uh, Jewish tradition, they always talk about wealth as a spiritual and material aspect. So some of us, we are wealthier in spiritual philosophies because that's where you've invested yourself a lot. And then there are some of us who has an abundance of material wealth, but they lack the spiritual awareness where that material demonstration came from. So I think honestly, as a researcher, it's important to get specific on what type of prosperity we're talking about because all of us we have different set of strengths and different areas of refinement.
Right.
And it's only when we complement each other do we really come as a whole, especially in the collective, even in partnership. So, you know, I don't think it's very helpful if both of you are coming together with the same strengths. Because if you're coming together with the same strengths, then you don't complement each other. And this is the part where I think my course in London, which is called Mighty Heart, is very helpful because we talk about vulnerability. And in metaphysical circles and new thoughts, which I've been exposed prior to my certification in London, it was so to be vulnerable because we don't talk a lot about vulnerability in new thought and in metaphysics a lot because we think it's a sign of weakness
Right.
or you don't
Yes.
embody the principles. But I think that's also something that we need to look to because it's only when we're vulnerable do we realize see each other have to offer and then come together so that we can elevate each other.
That is so correct. Thank you so much. Don't go too far. Stick around. But we're gonna go on a little commercial break, and we'll be right back. I guess.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
Hi, I'm Karina Felix.
publisher and editor of Meta Lifestyle magazine, the source for enhancing and transforming lifestyles. And today I have a special offer just for you. Go to my website, metalifestylemagazine.com/subscription and get your free edition today. You've been watching the Meta Lifestyle Magazine show with your host, Karina Felix. If you would like to connect with me, go to metalifestylemagazine.com/connect. Welcome back, and we're still on our topic about metaphysics. And now I would like to introduce to you Reverend Marcus Brown. Are we ready to get Marcus online? Because Marcus is coming in from, I want to say Colorado. Am I correct? Marcus, hi. It's nice meeting you. Can you hear us? Did you unmute yourself? And can you turn your camera sideways if possible?
He's muted on his side.
You're muted on your side. Can you hear us? All right, let's go to music. Let's go to music. We're going to go to some music break, and we're going to fix this. Okay. And now we have our fabulous, I love this guy. And guess what? I only met him yesterday, and I fell in love with him and had to have him on my show today. So, Mr. Frank Barbuda, thank you so much for being here. And go on.
All right, thank you, Karina. Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's your hurry? Relax and don't you worry. We're gonna fall in love. We're on that road to romance, that's safe to say, but let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime, 'cause nice and easy does it every time. We're on that road to romance, that's safe to say, but let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime, 'cause nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it every time. Like the man said, come on now. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it every time. Very good, very good. That's awesome. I love it.
So, as you know, I'm the publisher of the Meta Lifestyle magazine, and I have this fun article that came out this month. Oh my goodness, let me see. And it's called The Gratitude Punch. And the author, writer of The Gratitude Punch is here with us, Vismaya Rubin, and she's going to create her little punch for us right now.
Very, very happy to be here. So I love the conversation we're having because it really, this is what Gratitude Punch is. It is very metaphysical. It is about declaring what we want. And you mentioned The Science of Getting Rich. I have read that book probably on repeat every day with a friend in the past year. So I love it. Are you going to hear me if I put the mic down here? No?
Can someone hold the
Okay,
mic
so I
holder?
will hold the mic and I will work magic. So
Do we have a mic holder? Oh.
thank you. So the first part of Gratitude Punch is declaration. Wake up every morning and declare what it is you want. Declare how you want your day to go. Wake up and say, today is going to be a magical day. If you don't like the word magical, use wonderful, fabulous, excellent, and plop it on in. All right. The next part of, they have to always tell me where to look in the camera. So the next part of Gratitude Punch is expectation. Expect life to work. Expect your day to go exactly how you want it to go. If you wake up and go, oh my God, I have to get up again, and it's going to be such a hard day, you're going to get exactly what you say you're going to get. Expectations, our words matter. We just heard that a moment ago. Expect life to work. Throw that in. And what's punch without celebration, right? So celebrate not just when we reach that goal. Celebrate the milestones. Celebrate the little moments. You remember all of the monumental things that happened to you, but do you remember the little things? Those are the things that we also should be celebrating. You know, I always use the example of you parked your car a little bit further so that you had a few extra steps, or you ate an apple instead of a chocolate bar. You can tell what I like to eat. I like the chocolate, until recently. Education, we never stop learning. As a former educator, you know, take 10 minutes a day. We all have 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes a day, read something, listen to something that you've never heard before, or listen to something that you want to expand your knowledge on. Give yourself an education 10 minutes every day, or more. But we always say that we're so busy, so 10 minutes is a perfect amount of time. And the last one is communication. It's not the last one, but it's the last small piece. Communication. Call people that you haven't spoken to in a while. Have clear communication. If there's something that you need to say to somebody, say it, but say it in a loving manner. Call your friends, reach out to them, send an email. When's the last time you actually wrote a letter to somebody or received a letter and got something in the mail that wasn't a bill and you were like, oh my God? So try that. Throw that in here. That looks really fabulous. And the last part, which is the most important part, is appreciation. Take time out of your day to really focus on your gratitude wins. Who or what made a difference for you? What did I do for myself? How did I nourish my mind, body, or spirit? You have so many ways that we're hearing today about nourishing your mind, body, or spirit. And then what made me smile or laugh till my sides hurt? And let's see. And there you have it. And then you mix it all together. And it doesn't mean that life is always perfect, but when we do these kind of activities, when we create this kind of habit, we find the deliciousness in our life no matter what happens. And that's really the process, is how is it that we manage? How is it that we handle what life throws at us? So when life is throwing you lemons, make some gratitude punch.
Yay! Can we have a little bit
Of course.
punch?
Yes,
Can our staff and crew have a little taste here?
of course. Let's see. And these are fabulous, fancy glasses.
Can we have a little bit of your gratitude punch here? Can our staff have a little bit of a little taste here?
You can have all of it.
Of course, as
yes.
you guys could see, mine goes with a little bit of Prosecco. You can refill my glass right here. Hello.
I will. I will pass them around. I have more glasses, don't worry. So, it's interesting that the conversation that you were having today was really about declaring and creating the life that you want to have, because we have that power, we have the magic, but we just have to, and you said something about faith earlier. I've been wearing another book I've been reading is called The Garden of Emunah, and Emunah in Hebrew means faith. So I've been wearing a bracelet about faith every day also, and recognizing that when we practice gratitude, it strengthens our faith. And then the more that we get the things we want, our faith is even more impacted.
It's reinforced.
Right.
And
so Waddle says that faith or gratitude cultivates faith, but other people would say faith cultivates gratitude. I'm not here to debate that. I don't care how you believe.
Correct.
But they both are powerful tools to have in your life.
So Vismaya has a, and you have to, I am saying have to. You don't have to, but you have to. So she has a gratitude daily affirmation that is very good because it helps remind you to stay on track of being grateful for the most simple stuff. And she gives you little tidbits and little advice and little bit stuff like a little aha moments, and kinds of keep you on track. And I know you have quite a big following now because you've been doing this for years. Because when she first came up with this idea, we were at the same workshop together, and I jumped right in, and
Yep.
I'm one of her founding members. And jumped right in. I've been receiving my gratitude email every single day. And there's little just stuff to make you think and remember that just remembering one little thing to be grateful for turns your whole day around. And sometimes we get so caught up in life and all of that stuff. And we forget to just remember, well, I'm alive. I got food. I got whatever that is that you need at that moment to help you elevate your consciousness and help you appreciate the simple stuff of life. And it doesn't have to, I like to use the word lifestyle, but lifestyle to me is something different to a lifestyle to you or you, Nandini, or Lynn is here with us. Lifestyle is very different. Somebody might want the uplands. They might want the big house and the jet, the boat. Someone might just want a cottage with a nice little garden and something simple. Each of us have a different desire, and it's okay to pursue whatever that desire is, right?
Absolutely. I call it a practice, like a gratitude practice, because it's something we have to consistently work on. People talk about an attitude. I don't know how to have an attitude, but I do know how to have a practice, because those are steps that I can put in place and I can work on every single day.
Can we just emphasize how important gratitude is as part of a metaphysical approach to life? When Karina earlier was talking about declaring what it is we want to achieve to the universe, metaphysics teaches us that in declaring that, we give thanks for it, even before it is manifested in our lives. So when we give gratitude for it, we're speaking it into existence as if it is existing now in the present moment. Although it may take some time for that manifestation to become real in our lives, we're giving thanks for it now. And that is what a metaphysical approach to life is all about. It's wonderful that you're here today sharing this
Thank you
important
so much.
message.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
It was no coincidence. It was absolute divine timing.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and try one more time to get Reverend Marcus Brown online. Because he's, like I said, he's one of the alums to the University of Metaphysics. And I've also been following him. And these are people we've not met in person, but we've chatted over time. And by following each other, I realize where we have the same common goals, the same messages. And I think we're all in this you mentioned the word vulnerable. And from my magazine, what I'm getting is the articles I'm getting, the stories that people are sharing are so much more raw. It's raw and vulnerable. And it's like we are not hiding no more. We are not being, don't say, don't air your dirty laundry to the neighbors. We're not there no more. We have to let this stuff out. We have to accept life is what it is, and then seek and ask for help. It's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's what we're all in this together. We're here to work as a team.
And we have to remember that in sharing our personal stories, our personal struggles, we're actually helping somebody else who hasn't found their voice yet to share their own struggles. And we're helping them to overcome in the same way that we are overcoming. That is so very important. So we need to speak. We need to share.
Lynn, would you like to put your two thoughts in there? Lynn, Mr. Everard, are you awake?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead. Tell us your thought.
Well, I love what you said about all of us being in this together, because we are. And we are, it's kind of funny because we're each having our own individual journey, but then we are also part of a collective. So we are experiencing life on two levels. One, our own specific path, journey, and the lessons we're here to learn, and then the complementary path, which is being part of a collective. So we are literally having a role, a part in creating everything. So as we see all the things happening in the world, we know that they're for our benefit, but ultimately we know they're for everyone's benefit. And even things like your show ultimately are for everyone's benefit. And to be able to understand that everywhere that we can gather a piece of information, a nugget that will help us in our journey, is time well spent.
Very true. Very true. So it's kind of interesting because just between the group right here, Lynn helps people write their books, correct? So you're into helping people tell their story. And then I have Nandini here, who is also either helping you get your message out there, as well as she's a ghostwriter for those who have that fear of writing their story, not so much telling the story, but the actual writing part of it. So this is when you get yourself a ghostwriter, and you either record it or you tell it to her, and then she gets that in your book. So if you have that story, and you're thinking, well, I'm not a writer, there's other options, and don't let that stop you from getting your story out, because someone out there needs a story. And, I'm a publisher. I have Ingenious Publishers, and I publish my books and I publish my magazine. And whatever you need, please really don't keep that in there, because someone out there needs that message that you have to share, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you read the magazine, in the 2 editions that we've had so far, I have shared very, very personal stories of my own struggles. And the feedback that I've had on these stories are so positive. People say, thank you for sharing that. It makes me feel less alone on my journey. So
Your story is about self-healing. It says self-healing, the hardest, easiest thing you'll ever do. Authority. We're conditioned to respect it, honor it, and believe it. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
this was when I was very, very, very ill, and I ended up in hospital, and the doctors were recommending, a drug for me that would have really serious side effects. They would have to do a blood test every month to determine whether my liver was functioning properly. And that was just one step too far for me. And I'm so very grateful that, because of my approach to life, I was able to understand that I was responsible for getting myself in that hospital bed. Nobody else. My illness, my dis-ease that I was experiencing in my body, I was totally responsible for. It wasn't something that was happening to me. And that belief allowed me to take responsibility for my own well-being and to have the courage to say no to pharmaceutical drugs. And I'm not advocating, that people completely stop pharmaceuticals. they have their use. When I was in the hospital, steroids saved my life. So I understand very personally the need and the worth that pharmaceuticals have in the right scenario. For me, putting my body at risk in that way, where I would have to be concerned about the function of my liver, was a step too far for me, and I'm grateful for that because it's allowed me to go on a journey of self-healing, and it's never an easy journey of self-healing, and I guess that's why we've become so addicted to just popping a pill for an easy fix. Self-healing is a messy, difficult journey. You have to explore parts of yourself, parts of your psyche, parts of your emotional well-being that are not very easy to explore. But in that journey, we learn more about ourselves, we learn our strengths, and in doing that, that is how then, when we get to the other side, we're then able to share that story and to help others. And I'm so very grateful for that.
Well, I've dealt with a lot of people who they hear the word self-healing, and you said it. It's not an easy journey.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not magic.
Yes.
It does take. I mean, everything really takes effort and belief, again, and faith and trust and gratitude. There's so much going on in that context. And I think even with that, people want the easy fix, and there's no easy fix. So even like you said, you do the pharmaceuticals, it just covers up the symptoms. It doesn't do anything else besides that. At some point, you still have to, at some point, get rid of the basic, the foundation, the root cause of what it is,
Yeah.
because if not, then now you're taking the pharmaceuticals, which doing damage to different parts of the body.
This is such a vast topic that we'll need, like one show to explore all the various facets of, what self-healing involves. But I'm just so very grateful to Karina for being, part of me sharing my story, which so many people have told me has really helped them on their own journey.
So talking about books and publishing, I think we have Heidi Hess. Is Heidi Hess on?
Hey there, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Go ahead and tell us what's happening this weekend.
So this weekend on Saturday, we're going to be at the mall at Wellington Green, and it's going to be from 11 to 4, and it's called the Read It, Write It Book and Writing Festival. And what it does, we are looking to bring awareness to local and independent authors, but not just authors, editors, book review services, hi Lynn, publishers, but it's going to be panels, it's going to be workshops, book signings. We have a kids area too, so it's a family-friendly event, and that's what's happening.
So tell us what's the beginning, what's the foundation of making you create such an event?
So my inspiration, really, there is a pretty famous book festival down in Miami, and it's for everyone. Everyone can come in. There's a lot of free books, there's free workshops, there's free panels, and I wanted to bring something like that here to Palm Beach County because I think that we need to increase the love of reading and hopefully inspire the next writers. Who's going to be the next Neil Gaiman? Who's going to be the next Stephen King? And that's what we want to do. So this is a book and writing festival for everyone. And eventually I would like to see the schools involved and maybe even have some younger writers that have been published. I would love to have a whole section of just that. That would be great. But yeah, so that's what we're doing.
That's great. I'm excited because we are all going to be there. So Nandini and I are going to be there. We have a table. Lynn is going to be there. And I'm going to be on the panel for publishers. So thank you so much for having me as part of that event. And I'm looking forward to everyone in the South Florida area. I hope to see you guys at the Wellington Green on Saturday. February, I think that's what, the 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes,
There
that's
you
correct.
go.
And we also have a costume contest. So dress up as your favorite literary character.
Exactly.
I'm hoping to
So-
see some Mr. Darcy's. I'm hoping to see, some Harry Potters. But we're going to be awarding first and second place, and there's prizes. So
Great. So it's a great family event, and I do hope you do show up and support the authors and help cultivate literature reading for our kids. And I'm looking forward to see you on Saturday. Thank you so much for coming
Yes.
on today.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Have a great day. All right, we're coming to the end of our show. I'm always so amazed how fast an hour goes, but there is no way of us going without one last song from my now new favorite singer over here, Mr. Frank Barbuto. And take it away, Frank. And thank you so much. Oh, next week we're going to have the Millennium Show. So any 20 to 27-year-olds, contact me, come to the show. Whenever you're ready, go.
Okay, also I want to mention there's a charity that I'm involved in. It's called the His House Foster Care. And we have the banner. They'll put it up after I sing this song, I'm sure. So if you get a chance, take a look at that. That's His House Charity, and it's sponsored by Nero G Entertainment, which is my agency, or my agent. So thank you, Karina. No worries. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night. What were the chances we'd be sharing love before the night was through? Something in your eyes was so inviting, something in your smile was so exciting, something in my heart told me I must have you. Strangers in the night, two only people, we were strangers in the night, up to the moment when we said our first hello. Little did we know love was just a glance away, a warm embracing dance away. Ever since that night, we've been together, lovers at first sight, in love forever. It turned out so right, for strangers in the night. Love was just a glance away, a warm embracing dance away. Ever since that night, we've been together, lovers at first sight, in love forever. It turned out so right, for strangers in the night. Doobie-doo, da-da-da-da-da-doo.
Are you a member of the Meta Lifestyle Club? Become a member and get access to all the perks we offer at metalifestylemagazine.com/club to get started. Thanks for watching the Meta Lifestyle Magazine show. And don't forget to subscribe to the magazine and tune in every week to get inspired and create your lifestyle by design.
Miss Karina's a big dreamer, a metaphysician on a mission of inspiration. motion and transformation, which led her to this manifestation. Miss Aruba, Island Queen, met her lifestyle magazine.